Hello, everybody. I hope you've been well. As we wind down this thematic year on the topic of scholarly values, I want to first thank everyone who organized an event or attended an event and engaged these questions. I want to thank the members of the steering committee, your wonderful faculty colleagues who actually took the time to think a little bit more deeply about what kinds of debates and conversations would be most useful and edifying for our community. I want to give a special word of thanks to the chair of that group, Distinguished Professor of Philosophy Duncan Pritchard. As many of you know, Duncan has spent a big part of his professional career reflecting on what the habits of thought and culture should be that is most conducive to honest inquiry and discovery. We were lucky 5-6 years ago that Duncan, along with some other colleagues, such as Richard Aram from the School of Education, brought to the campus the Anteater Virtues Project. This was an effort to create a series of online modules and lectures and debates and other resources that are designed to help our students better understand the culture of our world of inquiry and discovery. Many of you have classes where you have incorporated those materials for the benefit of your students. And if you haven't had a chance to learn enough about the Anteater Virtues Project, I would encourage you to do so and see whether you think that those materials would be of benefit to you and your students as well. And we know that as we're winding down the formal programming of this year, we know that the question of what is required of us as scholars acting at the highest levels of our profession, that's an ongoing conversation because it's foundational to everything we do at the university. The social contract between modern universities and the broader public over the last 100 years is premised on our promise that if you give faculty experts the freedom to explore the world as they see fit and to figure out how best to transmit advanced knowledge to the next generation of students, that if you give them that freedom, that we will act in accordance with the highest standards of our profession and hold each other accountable to those standards as well. We know that this is also central to the way the University of California describes in the Academic Personnel Manual, not just the privileges of faculty and academic freedom, but our responsibilities to do work in an honest way at the highest level of integrity. And I mention this ongoing obligation because, as we know, in the broader political system, there are loud voices that claim that too many corners of some of our campuses are not acting in a way that is consistent with those obligations of scholarly integrity and professional conduct. We see this in almost every public opinion poll over the last 10 years, this increasing concern about a lack of viewpoint diversity, an unwillingness to introduce students to the full range of legitimate opinion. We see this in scholarly analysis of the demographics of various fields of study, but also scholarly analysis of our syllabi when we claim to be introducing students to contentious debates. And of course, we've been seeing it increasingly in the political system in more than half of all the state legislatures over the last few years, and of course, increasingly out of Washington, D.C. So what are we to make of this? I know that there's many people who believe that these criticisms have no validity or are overblown, that they're driven by other political agendas. But I think that we ignore these criticisms at our peril. And it's not because we need to indulge crazy culture wars. It's because I talk to members of our faculty, I talk to our department chairs, others on the campus all the time. And we have colleagues, our own colleagues, who believe that these issues should be discussed in a more honest way. It shouldn't be the case that members of our community think that we could benefit, our work could benefit from more diversity of perspective within certain disciplines. But they don't think that they can raise those issues because they fear that they might be ostracized or marginalized. And that has to be an intolerant position for a culture such as ours that should welcome honest debate and welcome people who want to challenge our ways of thinking so that they can either be rebutted or that we can learn something from the criticism. So as we move forward, I hope that we can create even more spaces for these issues to be discussed. If you have interests in conversations along these lines, I hope that you'll speak up. And I want to thank everyone in advance for continuing this conversation, making it possible for us to do our work at the highest level of professionalism and integrity. And as we do that work, I want to wish you well. And I hope to see all of you in person again before too long. Thanks so much.